Hi guys, welcome back to your own channel Technical Sahil. Today's video is the 12th one in this playlist where we are preparing ourselves to build our web hosting selling website. From the previous video, we have already started to see that how do we actually sell web hosting with an automatic provisioning and looked specifically for shared hosting, which is the prior type of web hosting. Today we are going to look at how we can sell cloud hosting, which is somewhat a confusing type of web hosting. I said confusing because different providers offer cloud hosting in their unique ways on their websites. First, let me explain the actual meaning of cloud hosting. Cloud hosting is an internet-based computing service that provides server, storage, and various applications via the internet, often on demand or on a subscription basis. Imagine you are an first year BCA student and looking for some space to store your projects, college projects or assignments. So you have two options. Either store everything on your personal computer or a laptop, but if that computer breaks down, all your data is gone. Or use a cloud service like Google Drive or Dropbox or pCloud, where you can securely store all of your files. Web hosting providers or those who runs websites or applications also need servers. And as I have mentioned in the last video, a server is like a normal computer that has specific software or programs installed on it to make your website live or application publicly available. So if you go live with your website using cloud hosting, you get a virtual server that's actually part of multiple connected servers. Here resources like CPU, RAM, storage, bandwidth are dynamically allocated, means they increase when needed or decrease when not. All of this could be managed by a load balancer program which is pre-installed on those cloud servers. Now guys, there are some big providers, like we can say cloud service giants, in other words Google Cloud Platform, Amazon Web Services, DigitalOcean, who actually have their technology, the required servers and the resources for its maintenance. They typically offer you their instances on pay as you go model, means you can take as much as you need for as long as you need. That's the first and most straightforward method and actual method of selling cloud hosting. But not every company has their own large data centers and same resources like them. So there are providers who add a managed service to VPS hosting and sell it as a cloud hosting. We have discussed the concept of manage unmanage when we bought a VPS for ourselves in, I guess, the third video of this playlist from Contabo. When we were choosing our VPS, Contabo asked us if we would manage the VPS ourselves or have them manage it for an extra monthly charge of something between $100 to $150. That was the charge. So managed services are costlier as compared to unmanaged, because in unmanaged you have to do everything yourself and the support is also limited. But with the managed, you just have to tell the provider what you want and they'll do it for you. The level of support can vary. Some providers offer good support in unmanaged plans, while some does not offer much as they have to in the managed plans. I am not talking about the quality of any particular company support team. I am discussing the actual meaning here and difference between the managed and unmanaged. Anyways, seeing this cost gap, this company thought creatively and create an opportunity. They picked unmanaged server from different providers and manage it themselves, adding their own pricing and create a GUI panel. Then they call it this thing as cloud hosting. This was the second method of selling cloud hosting. Now the third method and final method for selling cloud hosting, which we are going to follow in this tutorial series, by creating packages just like shared hosting from our WHM as we saw in the previous video, but add 4 times more resources and declare it as cloud hosting. If you have limited resources, means neither multiple servers nor a dedicated one, just one VPS, then you can follow this method. And it's not actually a bad method. Hostinger, which is a big name itself with its own data centers, is following the same pattern for cloud hosting, you can see. And in fact, I have personally tried this their cloud hosting. Whatever I am saying from my understanding. I have tested these products, all of these products, and I am explaining to you based on my experience. So if you are starting with the same setup which I have recommended from my first video, then you can definitely go with this way. Every method has its unique advantages and none of them are bad. The only important thing is to include this type of cloud hosting in your catalog, because there are people like me who run multiple websites, like 100 plus websites. So they obviously prefers cloud hosting over shared hosting. And if you're transparently mentioning your plan specifications, like what you're offering in the backend, I assure you that you are providing a genuine, reliable solution, just like all these reputed companies. What they are offering is what they have written, and what they have written is giving honestly. Their methods may be different, but their intentions are very clear. Anyways, let's move to the WHM and create our cloud hosting plans. The steps are mostly the same. We have to go with the add a package page. I have already written down some plans just like my previous video, so that I don't have to think and write while shooting this video. So let me first copy the name from here, paste it here. Now in this space we will allow 100 GB for our first plan, 100 GB. Guys, one thing I forgot to mention in the last video as well. Like in the last video, when we have created shared hosting plans, we defined different disk spaces according to different plans, like this much space in this plan. And in cloud hosting, of course, we are following hostinger's pattern. So we are offering 4 times more than the shared hosting plans. So we have set 100 GB in our first plan, but the VPS that we own has only 400 GB itself. So can we not create a 500 GB plan, or we have to buy a new server or additional storage as soon as we sell those 400 GB plans? Yes, you will have to buy additional storage or a new server, but not after just selling 4 plans instantly. Let me explain to you how the storage concept works. Let's say you have sold some of a plan with 100 GB of storage, like this plan, but that customer has only used 2 GB so far. Until they have used the remaining 98 GB, that 98 GB remains available on your server. It means that defining the space does not lock it up. The storage gets full only when the customer uses up that much space which you have allowed in your plan. And speaking from my personal experience, 100 GB of space is a lot for a web server. People buy those plans thinking they have host as many websites as they want, but usually how many websites do they actually have? Yes, there are exceptions in some cases, like if someone like me becomes your customer, then yeah, they might be use all of your web space, but it does not get locked instantly just because someone bought a new plan. And usually everyone has 1 to 2 websites, which takes up to 2 to 4 GB of max storage. So yes, you will need to keep an eye on your server space. As it starts getting filled, you have to look forward for additional storage or a new server. But honestly, if you have a VPS with 200 to 4 GB of storage to start, that's good enough for the beginning. Storage does not get locked just because someone bought it. After bought it, they first have to use it. Anyways, I have written unmetered bandwidth here. You can set it to unlimited bandwidth here. It's a big number, and most importantly, it resets every month. And by the way, unmetered bandwidth means that the hosting providers allows you to transfer data without any specific limit. This does not mean you have to infinite bandwidth or you are giving your customer infinite bandwidth. Instead, it means you will get a fixed speed and you can transfer unlimited data at that speed. So keeping it unlimited here won't restrict the customer. They can use as much as they want, and mentioning unmetered bandwidth in your product description won't consider as a cheating to the customer. For everything else, just set it unlimited. If you want to impose any restrictions like their first plan in which they offer 300 websites. So if you also want to offer the same, so inside the add-on domains you can define a number like one for the primary domain, and you can set here 299. So this way you can mention in your plan description that you're allowing 300 websites to host. Subdomain does not matter in the case of live websites because generally people use add-on domains and consider as the website, because subdomains can be anything. Subdomains can be the a part inside the website, just like we have mentioned earlier in the WHMCS case that we can install it on a subdirectory and make it a subdomain. So subdomain can be considered as a live website. So mainly the add-on domain you can set restriction, but I am going with everything unlimited because I am just creating these plans for sample. So yeah, space is 100 GB, rest are the things unlimited. Emails I would go the same 100, and here also I'll define the same space because that makes sense. We have earlier defined 100 GB, so how can we set unlimited here? Rest are the things I guess okay. So click add. Now let me create two more plans in the same way. Our second plan is Cloud Expand, which offers 200 GB. Rest are the things unlimited 200 GB here, and click add. Now let's add the third and final plan, which is Cloud Growth, and which offers the 300 GB of SSD storage. 300 GB. And click add. Now we are done with the WHM panel. Now we need to create the same way inside the WHMCS by creating a new category of cloud hosting. Just like we have seen in the previous video for shared hosting, we need to go to the system settings and product and services. Let's create a new group, which is cloud hosting. And save changes. Now let's create a new product. Product type would be shared hosting because we are using the same functionality of shared hosting, just we have multiplied the resources to the 4 times. So but we are using the same product type. Here we can select our second group, which is cloud hosting, and here we can copy the same name, cloud starter. And here, as we have mentioned in the previous video, you need to define cPanel here in order to fetch the plans we have just created in the WHM. So make sure to select cPanel here and click continue. Now product description we can copy from here, and yes, we require domain and we have applied the tax. Now inside the pricing, it's of course a recurring, so we will set what's their offering, 699. let's say 399 and 3999. This amount is something like $5, 5 US dollars, and similarly this amount would be approximately $50, and rest are the currencies we just need to enable, and it will automatically update the value according to this conversion rate. Now inside the module settings, we need to first, now we got three more plans here which we have added, so we can select the same plan, cloud starter, automatically set up the product as soon as the first payment received, click save changes. Now we are also offering the free .com domain, so offer a free domain registration on annually term and .com and save changes. Now let's create the second plan, which is cloud expand, shared hosting, cloud expand, cpanel, and continue. Now let's say this plan would be 699, which is something like $9, 6999, and inside the module settings, yes, cloud expand, automatically set up the product as the first payment is received, click save changes. Free domain on annually terms, which is .com, and again save changes. Now let's create our final product, which is cloud growth. Cloud growth. This time it has taken. First, I guess we need to paste the product, then we need to select the group. So that's how it has taken. Anyways, continue. Product description. Mm, we offer this plan at 999 and 4 times 9. And inside the module settings, this time we need to select cloud growth, which is our third and final plan, and click save changes. And now we need to allow a .com domain for free with this plan if someone has selected the annually term. So that's how we have created cloud hosting and added to our catalog in this hosting selling website. If we check in the client area how it looks, that's how these three plans has been created. You can also create more plans, less plans. This is according to your choice. I am creating three plans because when we design the client area, when we add a theme, so the three plans looks decent, because in generally like we will use the same structure, like this kind of structure, three plans listed in a row. So this is create right now these three plans are not looking good, because the third plan is going down. But once we change the design of client area, then three plans will look more good. That's why I'm creating three plans uh, for a good design. But yeah, it's totally up to you how many plans you want to create and what would be the pricing, what would be the specifications. It's all up to you, and even what would be the name. I'm just creating some sample plans to show you, and once we design the complete website, we will set up all the things, then we will check by ordering a plan that it's working or not. So that's why I'm creating the plans, but without any strategy, just to show you the process. That's all for this video, and thanks for watching.